My name is Colin Andrew, and this is the behind the scenes for the Loving You in Vain official music video.
Tell me, do you really feel the same? Been loving you so long, it's not in vain.
And with me today, we have the director, Mr. Daragh Twomey.
Thanks for having me, Colin. Appreciate it. So myself and Colin are going to do a little bit of a breakdown of the music video, give you a little bit of a general behind the scenes, some stories from on set and about the song itself. This is our second music video together. Last year, summer of 2019, we made a music video for Colin's song Too Far From Kind. Too Far From Kind was one of my favourite shoots I've ever been on, and I'm still so proud of that music video. So I was more than happy when Colin reached out to me to work again.
It was a natural progression, and I thought the second video, the idea I had perfectly suited your style in every way. Simply, Loving You in Vain is a song about moving on, whether it be from a job or a relationship or anything that's no longer benefiting you or that's unhealthy for you. As I work on regularly with all my music, my producer, Mr. Barry O'Connell, I say producer, but he does almost everything else. Everything I don't do, he does. We demoed everything in 2018. I brought him a raw song, and he helped me put the whole thing together, expand on the original idea. Barry came and he sprinkled all of his genius on it, and we got Mr. Ben Rowe on drums, and he was working with us over in Florida, so we demoed everything in Florida originally, in Orlando, when we were all working in Disney World. And really, everything came together in the last 3 weeks, because we had a version and we weren't entirely happy with it, so we decided let's just totally switch everything up. But it really came together because that's just the way we seem to work. Things seem to come together in the end, and Barry works really well under pressure.
Suppose the video starts off in the middle of a woods, a forest. That's Kerbiny Woods, which is local to myself and Steve. Oh, who's Steve, you ask? Because Steve is the monster. If you know any of my Threemey work, Steve is an actor in my sketch comedy, and first person we thought of as the big, long, tall, fast monster for a music video. So you don't see his very pretty face, but he's there. We wanted the kind of video to start off in this nearly borderline horror vibe. You know, the character played by Colin is on the run from a mysterious force. Colin knocked it out of the park with his acting. I give credit to the man. In fairness to you, lad. Colin gave the perfect, deer caught in the headlights kind of vibe for the video. What you're seeing on screen now actually is some unused footage. We had this little scene where Colin escapes the monster, he's looking around, the lighting was really good, and the monster's there. It ended up kind of slowing down the pace, the frantic pace of the intro of the song, so we ended up shelving it. But poor Steve and Colin got, at that stage, the idea that they're going to spend the next 2 days running. So much running. You might not think it, but like for every single angle and take, the guys have to reset and run. As you can see in this part of the music video, we're transitioning from woods to city. The two guys round the corner and boom, we're into the verse, we're into singing. So I wanted to kind of give a vibe of a big, huge rig, you're on the back of a trolley or a car, Colin's running towards me singing and I'm filming him. How we actually did it was, I hopped on a bicycle, I had my gimbal with my camera attached in the other hand. I would get up enough speed, turn around and film Colin running towards me. And what we planned as well was to have the kind of dreamy-like sequence. Colin sang the song twice as fast, and he was practicing this for, the week or so before the shoot. It made it much easier for us because we're not seeing a full, 15-second verse. It's now 7 seconds. We did a lot of kind of test shots. So what you're seeing here now is before we headed into the city, we stopped off in Carrigaline and wanted to really make sure that the whole singing bicycle nonsense would work. So we tested it out and it worked, as you can see here. What you're seeing now as well actually is we did more test footage. This is us running down that street in Cork City beside Peace Park.
Also, let it be known, I got everyone an iceberg in Carrigaline, just for a little bit of...
So the first kind of gag you see in the music video is us running down a little side street. Fun fact, this is the second music video I shot in that street. Sorry to plug myself, Colin.
Plug away.
And it was myself and Steve again, were there a few months prior for a video in which I killed Steve and cut off his face.
Can I also put it in there at some point of how helpful you were with the acting throughout the entire video? to the point where you were literally like, jump up, turn around, look scared, look happy.
A lot of my experience is working with people who don't have acting experience like myself, so I know exactly kind of how you're thinking, because it's something, you know, you think you can do, but you're in front of the camera and you go, oh God, you know, what do I do next? So bar, you know, just advice and direction, you knew exactly what the role entailed, so very easy to work with. Thank you. Personally, my favorite part of the music video is that scene on Grand Parade where yourself and Steve are popping out from behind the newspapers. We just both said we wanted this over-the-top Scooby-Doo-esque, and I think we pulled it off, and I'm just so happy with, like, you with your facial expressions did it so well, but in fairness to Steve, who didn't have a face.
Yes, he was amazing in how expressive he was, like, in fairness. And that was to do with how well you two work together as well, you know, and how you have a dialogue, and it's a very quick and immediate dialogue. There's no like waffle, you know. That's
actually a good point as well, Colin. Yeah, because myself and Steve have been, we've been friends for over 20 years, first of all, but like we've been working on YouTube videos together for I think about just over 3 years now. And in fairness, like, yeah, there's nearly this telepathic communication between the two of us. Steve is a pleasure to work with. I will always say that. Like, he's extremely up for, you know, adapting to doing things, to experimenting, improvisation. In fairness, he's happy to be there. Another gem of the music video is Steve's kind of climax in which he jumps out of the water, surprising you. That was a scene Steve was very nervous to do because just because he was afraid of the cold water, the poor Baba. And you know, just a case of he had to completely submerge himself and jump out in order for the shot to work.
Yes, boy!
Now, immediately after, Steve started to become waterboarded by the morph suit.
We literally waterboarded someone. It's against the Geneva Convention, and we did it during this. If you can take anything away from this, it's that we literally tortured a person.
I guess as well, a part of the music video that I'm very glad that we could incorporate. Now, you're not a Cork man, you're a Kerry man, Colin, so this is completely foreign to you, but
let's clarify.
Getting to show off Cork City, getting to run down Patrick Street with a monster chasing after you.
This is a good plug for Cork City of like how few people actually reacted to the fact that a grown man was being chased down the street by another grown man in a morph suit, and nobody really cared all that much.
Shout out to Emily Nocton, in fairness.
Of course.
Emily jumped in on the day last minute because we had an actor in place for that role who just couldn't make it on the day, so I was panicking and scrambling. Gave Emily a call.
On the point of the metaphor of the girlfriend, in this case I think for the video it turned out more being like you can seek comfort, but at the end of the day, all these things are part of you and you have to face them. And the girlfriend is sort of maybe a metaphor for comfort, you know, whether it be something you rely on, whether it be alcohol or other people, but eventually you have to face the problems yourself. And I just thought the joy that you captured at the end was amazing. For like, it felt a real resolution, you know. We just had such a great time.
We did.
And like in such a bleak summer, I mean this sincerely, like it was my favorite 2 days of the summer after the summer we've just had.
This time I know it's for real. This time I know it's for real.
Thank you so much for watching, sharing and enjoying Loving You in Vain. Myself and Colin, as you can tell, had an absolute ball making it, and we're so happy with the final product. And we hope you enjoy this little insight into, you know, the behind the scenes.
Thank you very much for watching this behind the scenes, and make sure to follow us both on social media. We'll see you later. Thank you.
See ya.